What it do, Kripple Krew? EDC with DBD. Disabled but deadly here with another Tactical Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. And I thought we would do something a little bit different today to celebrate American greatness and dominance, especially against Canada. We're going to look at my USA Made Kollection today and talk about yours. Hope everybody's week has started off well. Mine's fantastic now that I am kicking it with the crew, and I'm going to start off at the top of the chat. Before I get into the chat, if you are currently watching a vertical stream and you are only seeing a small portion of what is on display, if you want to see everything and kick it with the crew, the horizontal live stream, there is a pinned comment with that link. I'm going to kick it off. The first person I'm seeing in my chat today is David Giudici. What it do, my man? What it do? Hi, Kelly. Which one's which? Which one's which? I love it. I really should put that pinned comment in as soon as I make this from now on. Maybe I'll do that instead of waiting till the last effing second to remember to post that. When I make the live stream a day ahead of time, I'll try to remember to put a pinned comment in the vertical with the horizontal link. But Callie, my sis, is a member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up? Neil Mudd, my brother, member of Kripple Krew Inc. He is currently out driving, so if he doesn't end up tagging everybody, it ain't because he don't love you. It's because he's driving the kiddos around. It's wet outside. It's nasty today. Staff Sergeant Maximus, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up? He is lurking right now. Much appreciated. B. Shady, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What is up, my brother? Hope you're having a great week so far. I got out of the Twilight Zone. Kelly says I live in it. Checking in between sets, that's appreciated, Maximus. Folks, if he doesn't tag you, it's because he's trying to get a mother effing scholarship. Buzz Beast, member of Kripple Krew Inc. And my brother from I almost said Norwegian. My bad. A Dutch brother. Wow. I was getting Netherlands mixed up. From a Dutch mother, Boss Beast. Man, hold on, let's start over. My brother from a Dutch mother, Boss Beast, member of Kripple Krew Inc. There we go. Words and such. I like the bigger screen. Well, and you can see everything in the horizontal. Plus, if I share any links, it's really hard to see in the verticals now. And for some reason, it's keeping the vertical a partial screen with my Tactical Tuesday picture behind it. And it's not letting me normally I can make the view at least take up the whole vertical and get rid of that border. But it's not letting me do it right now. And it didn't the last live either. New House Lock and Key, member of Kripple Krew Inc. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you having a good one, man. I'm having a killer day, brother. Having a killer day. It's always a good day when I get to hang out with the crew. Yeah. There you go. Now you in the horizontal. 7-7. What it do, homie? What it do? We getting close, folks. We getting close to you having some of his insane designs available and in your hands. I am so excited for him. Also for my brother Mad Yako, folks, the Redeemer. Mad Yako's first design by North Mountain Blades. It is on its way to me today. It got shipped today. It's coming here from me, from our brother Matt Yako, for me to review it. I'm the first one that gets to check it out. I get a couple weeks with it before I send it on. I'm gonna try not to keep it that long though, because I want other people to be able to get it and get content up before the knife drops for live. It is on the North Mountain Blade website now. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Sage, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up, sis? In between Clydes, chilling for a bit. Hell yeah, good to see you. Your class was very informative this weekend. Clint effing Crosby, what it do? What it do? Mud's got a 20-minute break. Yay. Listening while playing Goat Simulator with your son. That's a good ass day. Matt Conklin, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up, homie? Why do I do both if the horizontal is better? YouTube only recently started allowing what is called MARS, multi-aspect ratio streaming. Fancy way of saying you can go vertical and horizontal at the same time. A horizontal live is advertised to new people completely differently than a vertical. People, if you're looking at shorts and you're scrolling through shorts, it'll drop you into vertical live streams, some that you've never seen before. It'll just drop you into live streams in between shorts. And a lot of people that are in the Kripple Krew have found the channel through vertical streams. I used to do horizontals were Saturdays and Tuesday was vertical, so that on Tuesday we could work to expand the crew. But since the YouTube allows both now, I like to run both so that we can see everything in the horizontal and we can direct people to the horizontal. But the vertical gets a lot more views because it's shown to way more people. And then people like Brown Sugar, who is now an integral. I use her as an example. She's my favorite example to use because Brown Sugar did not have a pocket knife, had never watched any knife content. And I was doing a vertical live stream with my homeboy Weldon Carey on one of my Tuesdays. And she popped into the vertical live stream. And she had a question about something we were showing, and people were very helpful in answering questions, and she didn't expect that. And we told her, and she was like, I apologize for the questions. And I was like, don't ever apologize for questions. This community is all about learning. And since then, not only has her pocket knife collection expanded to have some nice pieces, but she is also an integral part of damn near every single knife tube live stream. You will see Brown Sugar 69 at some point. She is an awesome person who found this community, not just my channel, but this community by accident because it was a vertical live stream. But yes, verticals get shown to a lot more people. You get more views, but horizontal is where they stay and kick it. So now that we can do both, that's why I do both. It does grow the Kripple Krew while the horizontal allows us to really just chat with the crew that wants to. So that is a fantastic question. I appreciate you asking because I think that might be the best I've explained it so far. What is that thing on the top right? Are you talking about the pokey thing? This is a money clip from Waynerson EDC, a new company that I am just starting to work with. I was not familiar with them, but they have a ton of dope EDC gear. Not just Ultim, but in a bunch of different materials, similar to CountyCom, but not as big. I now have a link and a discount code with them because they actually have some fantastic prices. But this is a money clip that they sent me. Holds bills very well, and well, yeah, no. Yeah, but they sent me a bunch of stuff, and it's funny. So this isn't USA made, but I still need to bring this up. So on the last live stream, I talked about the Ultim folding slingshot that they sent me. And I was so excited to have an Ultim slingshot that I completely forgot the other part of this tool. Completely forgot the other part of the tool. You can pull this out and put it in, and now you have a little blade. So at the bare minimum, if you have, see, I like that that's all magnetized because they didn't go anywhere. But if you have this in your pack, you've bare minimum got a way to at least attempt to hunt. I can't guarantee that you have any aim, like not because of the tool, but some people just aren't good. But you at least have a way to hunt and a way to take something down so that you can cook it. And when it's in there, it is locked up very well. Edge looks decent. Let me grab a piece of paper real quick. Let me grab a piece of paper. But this is from Waynerson EDC as well. They also have G10, green and black, if you don't like Ultim. I think it's an 8CR blade. I'd have to look again. But I'm fine with 8CR in a tool like this. But yeah, folding slingshot. And then you have your ammo right on the front with very strong magnets. And the knife. Waynerson EDC, you're going to be seeing a lot more from them on my channel. I need to add them to my links, but it's EDCgearzone.com. And at EDC Gear Zone, code DBD saves you 10%. Glad to hear it, new house. You do get more views. Mick Ranger, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What it do? What it do? It was a good question. B Shady, Rachel Jordan, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up, sis? Dropping them badass emojis. Laser Ghost Knives. Hood morning, hood afternoon. What it do? He says working and listening. So he may not be tagging everybody, but that's because he's making some of the dopest knives you will ever see in your life. Robo Steve. No. How do you get Teflon to stick to a skillet when nothing sticks to Teflon? Good question. I was going to come up with some stupid ass answer, but that's a good question because I can't even come up with a dumbass answer for that one, homie. I know it was a dumbass rhetorical question, but I thought I'd have a smart ass answer to it. On the Edge EDC, member of Kripple Krew Inc. Glad to see you as well, my friend. Lone Star Cowboy checking in from Turkey. Carry of the day, Gold Steel Voyager, XL Barang, and a Spydercos Manix 2 lightweight. I have the M4 version right here. Really, really love this knife. This was my second Spydercos in my collection. Third Spydercos. in my collection when I got it, and 'twas a trade from my brother War Room EDC. No, it's dope, right? Use my code. Yeah, with the blade in it. With the blade in it, that makes it so much cooler. Just because I already loved it because it was an Ultim slingshot. That's awesome, David. Yeah, way cooler now. Henry G. What's up? Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for dropping that EDC Gear Zone link. Folks, code DBD saves you 10% at the EDC Gear Zone. There is really, we'll take a look at that website in a bit. But they've got some pretty dope stuff there. Decom, what's going on, my man? What's going on? Good to see you. Working and lurking. He's making some blades. If he don't tag you, it's not because he don't love you. Tree. Oh. Remember Kripple Krew Inc. What it do? Scrolling. Ronald F. and Dobbins, member of Kripple Krew Inc., my brother. It's going well here. I hope you're doing awesome. Today, I wanted to show off some USA knives to celebrate American gold while we talk about some of y'all's favorite knives. And I guess the knife I'm starting with, because it's what I'm flicking with. Pardon me, I'm going to move the mic before I do this. Pardon me, had to clear my throat. This knife right here is the most expensive knife in my collection at the moment. Because with the hardware kit that came with it, that would put it at roughly $700 when it's sold. Like, I believe it's roughly $650 plus a $70 hardware set, something like that. But that's not what I paid. I traded 2 knives to our sister Kelly. One was the All-American TRM Holy Nerd with the brass scales. It was a Blade Show West special. And then the other was a Lynch Northwest exclusive Giant Mouse Ace Riv. Great knives. But I had never handled anything from Spartan. And I'd always wanted a Spartan design in the collection. This one is the first entropic or lightning style anode that I've seen that I like. And it's because of how dull it is. It reminds me of an oil slick. I put the bronze hardware back on because the upgrade entropic kit was really bright. And I like this more dulled look. But you want to talk about, it's not a thick knife at all, but the ergos are insane and I am locked. I could jab with this. I could slash with this. It's going nowhere. Strong cuts, beef jerky defense. This is one of the most locked in feelings I have ever felt on a blade. Spartan Harsey, Stormwatch 3 1/4 edition. Rockin' S45 VN and titanium. I would still have it if you didn't have the bigger one. Yeah. The full size Spartan Harsey is definitely bigger and chunkier than this. This is the 3 1/4 Stormwatch, but I love it because it's the perfect size for EDC and, like I said, beef jerky defense if necessary. In this grip, again, it's going nowhere because of that jimping that's in the titanium. But it is a very, very thin pocket presence. Carries very well. I really like this knife. Running on washers, smooth as hell. Snap. Love it. Not for long though. Yeah, it was one that, I wouldn't have it yet if not for a trade, because it's still out of my price range for right now. Past 2 weeks, a ton of packages that you had me on the inside. Yeah, yes, of course it happens. It happens constantly to me. I also get tagged or asked to collaborate from companies I've never talked to. That's always fun. Yeah, they get a straight up no. Let's start with my first USA made knife in this collection and my first Spyderco. And that's the paramilitary, or the PM2 or paramilitary 2. The PM2 is a knife that always looked ugly to me. How is the clip on the Spartan? It actually goes in and out of the pocket very well, and it does leave me enough to grab and pull. In the future, it could get like I can't remember. I think Lynch might do a clip for these. We could get a deep carry in the future, but I think not. I think I'm going to leave it the way that they intended it, because as a fighting knife, I understand being able to grab that bit of scale to get it out of the pocket really quickly if need be. And it disappears in my hand. There is no hot spot. It's very comfortable. So it's probably going to stick with the clip they intended, but who knows? I could end up throwing something on it in the future. Waynerson, it's on the EDC Gear Zone link. Here, we will actually take a look and find it real quick, and then I will share the actual link. Here it is. It starts at $30 after my code and goes up to 40 for the Ultim. I'm going to share this. Ultim 3 or Ultim folding slingshot with blade is what we'll put. Code DBD, paste. There you go. And I'm going to share the screen real quick. We'll take a look at it before I continue on with the chat and answer any other questions. We'll go back to that Spyderco in a moment. This is that slingshot. And 8CR. I was right. So 8CR, tough, corrosion resistant. And since this isn't going to be your main knife, it's going to hold an edge for long enough. Plus, you could sharpen it up. But really, this is like a pack tool. I love how it holds the ammo. And then they also offer green G10 or black G10 if you're not the Ultim type. And you can get the G10 for $30 after my code. I love the Ultim, but that's me. And what's funny, when I showed this the first time, you can actually see the blade through the Ultim. And I still forgot all about it when I was showing this on Saturday's live. But that's it right there. Code DBD saves you 10%. Wicked tool. Whoops. Let's see. Getting caught up. Apex, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What is up? Oh, looks like Kelly had already beat me to it. Yeah, she was dropping links. You know it. Let's see. Joe Isabella. What it do? B Shady's pocket, still rocking the tie tri-sash tie-dyes. Got the Hail Mary fixie and a crazy cat full wrist hank. Oh. Yeah, it does need to be adjusted. It's pushing over to the show side. It's T10s, right? There we go. Pivot was a little loose. It's fixed. Oh, and still works perfectly. Oh, no, now it... Oh, no. It just snapped out and lock stuck a little bit. Yep, there we go. Yeah, it needed to be tightened. You got it. Brush your bear. Won't be able to tag everybody. What's up? Quitman, is that still in Turkey? Is that still interesting? Yeah, I used to think Spydercos were hideous. I saw everybody's reviews, always talking about ergos. We stopped on Father's Day at a Cabela's, and they had one left, just the display model, and I handled it. It had the digital camo G10, and I handled it at the shop. I felt the ergos, and I wanted it. So Mrs. Deadly and the Deadly Daughter tried to buy the display, and Cabela's wouldn't sell it. We were coming home from out of town, and there was a Bass Pro on the way. Ed Durbin, Edyards, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What is up, my brother? Good to see you. And the Bass Pro Shop also only had the display model left, but they sold it to us. And so this was a Father's Day gift. And this was also the first knife that I ever added Ultim to, or a Lynch Northwest clip. My second USA made knife was the Ultim Deca. Equipment is out east in Texas. Yay. Above Tyler. Okay, I know what Tyler is. I just haven't heard that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to check out not only a model, a knife I've never checked out, but also to check out some Edyards. I have a couple of very exciting boxes coming. I have that one coming and a box from Mad Yako with his North Mountain Blades Redeemer. So they made slingshots when he was a kid. Yeah, bike tube. Yeah. I was just realizing that I really like the look of Ultim. And at the same time that I was ordering these scales from River's Edge Cutlery, these are USA made Cerberus scales, I ordered the Blade HQ exclusive Hogue Deca in Ultim. And I still personally prefer the Deca to the bug out or the Bel Air. Yes, yeah. Screw the knives. It's all about the egg yards. Yeah, dude, the Redeemer looks really sick. But I became a Deca fan. I became a massive Ultim fan. This also got a Lynch Northwest deep carry clip. And my love for American knives and my love for Ultim grew from there. My newest American knife is an early gift from Mrs. Deadly, and one that has been on my Grail list for quite a while. And then they added this diamond texture drop. They just had this drop last week with the new texture that I knew would go so well with my TRMs. But this is my newest USA blade. And you know I'm horny for that warning. This is the American Blade Works Slip Joint. Listen to this. Oh, it sounds so good. This is such a wicked little slippy. I'm so happy to have this in the collection. It's crazy that these are so fair priced at $159 when they drop with titanium and magna cut. They did a 45-degree slash milling that sold out faster than this somehow. But I mean, everything, the plunge grind is perfect so that you get that plenty of sharpening life on that magna cut blade at 64 HRC. It's so hard to bring up, but they're very, very fine. I'm going to have a hard time showing them in a review. Come on. There are very fine horizontal milling lines all the way down the blade. You can slightly feel it, but a beautiful hollow grind. Ooh. Ooh. It's like unobtainium in Europe. Nets to go frogging. Yeah, yeah. See, we used to go. We would put bubble gum on a string, or a little piece of hot dog or something, and drop it in the creek to catch crawdads. You didn't need a hook because they would claw onto it at least until you got them up out of the water. So if you were ready to grab them as soon as they were breaching the water, you were good to go. We did a lot of crawdad catching in the creeks. Unobtainium, I love it. Steve L, member of Kripple Krew Inc., dropping in badass emojis. The darker or the more lighter. So, out of standard Ultim, my favorite, and this is again, I sound like my own fluffer. But the best Ultim you're gonna get is on my knife. We went with a very high quality. Then we did a high polish on it, milled it diagonally, and then those diagonal lines have micro milling on them. And rounded every corner. There are no edges, like hard edges. Everything is smooth since we inset the liners. That's why I had to go to inset liners. Besides the fact it looks better. But with inset liners, I can get rid of those edges so that there's zero plastic feel. I prefer a polished Ultim, Because you can typically see through it better than a matte Ultim, and I do like milled Ultim. I like this frag. I like the texture that they've got on here, but I also love the Ultim that's on. I have, over 2 dozen Ultim knives. This RGT Ultim texture is great. But I do like an Ultim with better clarity so that you can see the internals of your knife. And that's one of the appeals of Ultim to me, is being able to see through the knife. But again, you have to have smooth corners. There can be no rough edges or it feels like plastic. I hate. It sounds like I'm just trying to sell more of my knives. There are more of these available, folks. Still some. There are still a few satin left. It's fewer than a dozen on the satin. And there are still DLC available. These start at these start at $99 after code DBD. And this is my favorite Ultim that I've handled. I've handled so much over the last couple of years that I was able to know exactly what was going to feel best. So, what Ultim do I prefer? I love Ultim in all its forms, but I do like the more polished Ultims that you can see through versus the the darker stuff. Now, smoked Ultim, completely different. It's its own thing. I do like smoked Ultim, but I only have one knife to judge that off of. This USA knife was also a gift from Mrs. Deadly. This was a Christmas gift this year. The Jake, what's going on? Good to see you. Then hope you're faster than your dog. Yeah, you have to slowly bring the crawdads up for show. The DBD Glideman Ultim is really nice. Yeah, I'm glad to hear so many people are liking it. People that have Ultim from before, and even people that didn't like Ultim. I've had a couple of converts. Old tire, bones are broken. Dog got a lot of crawdads back in the day. Love your DBD edition. Glad to hear it, homie. Glad to hear it. That would be dope, homie. That would be dope. I am trying to find somebody to work with me on a smoked Ultim knife. Leon, what it do, homie? Checking in from France. How you doing today? Good to see you. So out of my American blades, the ones that were gifts from Mrs. Deadly, the first one came from Mrs. Deadly and the Deadly daughter. This was a Christmas gift a couple of years ago from Mrs. Deadly, my Knife Joy exclusive Lil Native. This Kershaw Scallion, made in the USA, was a Father's Day or a birthday gift from Father's Day from Mrs. Deadly. And then this one was a gift from Mrs. Deadly for Christmas this year. And then, of course, my ABW. I take all the piss color comments back after getting, yep, see, there's an Ultim convert because of the DBD Glideman. Call it honey. That's beautiful honey right there. Haven't got a knife in like a week. What's up, Go Bunny? You must be jonesing. Must be jonesing. A gift from Deadly Jr. That's a USA Made knife. Is a knife I don't show enough. My Gerber strong arm with the original logo on it. That was the first logo that my son actually made for me when I asked for a GIMP tag with a knife and a skull. Illuminati has since updated my logos to the stuff that you see now. But it started with my boy, and he put this on a Gerber strong arm, a knife that I don't show enough of, but one of my USA Made knives. Yeah, it is. I don't have right here an instance of the first cane logo from him, but it was a stick figure with a cane and a knife, and the Illuminati took it and made it what it is today. And then this has always been a Illuminati original, because I was talking about a logo that could be shrunk down to be put on knives, and I wanted a DBD skull with a crossed cane and knife. And my boy Blue came through. And then he did the extra work to convert the files so that so that FerraMonster blades could use it, and so that future companies can use it. So huge shout out to my boy Blue. You guys know I love my brother Blue. Another USA Made fixie is my favorite production fixie. The TRM tag along. You guys know how much I love this. This one has the Bolts camo carbon and the DLC Magna Cut. Yeah, the newest logo is even better. Let me show it real quick. Oh, I thought I had it saved easy. I'll pull it up. Whoop, wrong button. Helps if I hit the right button. Come on. Let's go to messages. Oh, I also haven't checked to see y'all's carries. I really should be on top of that Instagram thing. But first, I got to pull on my brother Blue. Come on. Work with me, Instagram. Boom. I really need to save this on this. There we go. And let me save this. All right, now I can share it. Here is the newest logo. Not as easy to translate onto a knife, but it is going to be available soon with some stickers, and this is going to be available on merch. The updated DBD skull with the bandana and the Ultim cane. I love this one. This one will be available soon. Illuminati effing ninja. This community would not be what it is without my boy Blue and Twisted Sis. Faux shiz. I'm double checking. Double checking a couple of these before I share them. Okay. Jason Cox says, that's the one. Yay, yay, yay. The only stuff that comes to mind is to check out some of the Kershaw stuff, some of the Kin Onion blades. I know the Scallion is less than that, and I can just get a 4-finger grip on the Scallion. Plus, I can choke up a bit. But the leaks, I think, are at 3 or less. Yeah, I would look at the Kershaw leak, and if that is too big, look at the Kershaw Scallions. These are going to be inexpensive. They're USA made, assisted. Kershaw is the only brand that I could think of that I'm going to recommend. You guys know I'm not an assisted blade guy, so I don't review them. So I can't give you an opinion other than Kershaw. But Kershaw invented it. Kin Onion invented the assisted opening, and the Kershaw assisted knives are all very inexpensive. That's what I would recommend, Ron. Or a pocket fixed blade. Less than 3 inches. You don't need assisted. You know, if you find him a pocket fixie like, and you know, staying in the cost range, well below actually. Whoop, as I drop stuff. Yo, where are you? Oh, there you are. For less than $50 or right around $50 with shipping and everything, but I think it's less than $50 after code DBD, you can get the Aries EDC Bloom. It's Kubi and Aries EDC Bloom. It's small enough for pretty much every jurisdiction. It would match his mini nightshade. You got him. And it's a great pocket dropper sheath. Very small. The tag along is the best option to me, but you said $80 or less. So then I would recommend the Bloom. Yeah, Kin Onion is the one that he's the one that created the assisted opening for when he was working for CRKT. Like that's his thing. Just like CRK invented the liner lock. Yeah, those would be my recommendations, homie. Yeah, he is an integral part of like EDC history faux show. You know, my favorite USA brand is TRA or TRA. What the? I was thinking USA TRM. Wow. Ooh, new chickadees drop March 3rd. Damn. TRM, my favorite USA made company and one of my favorite companies overall as we look at our USA made blades. This is my newest TRM, but absolutely won't be my last. If we look at these with our tag along here, we're actually up to 6 TRMs. I want to take a look at these Instagram carries real quick. Millet USA is a new USA. Oh, Millet's they've been doing some impressive stuff coming out of nowhere. and really doing some impressive partnerships lately. Our homie Jason Cox with the light carry today. What our brother Gareth would call a pocket dropper. That's wicked. And then we got B Shady sharing 2 of the knives he has on the way. Oh no, no, no! You know I want that. Mini MSI. That's the spendy one right there, baby. Oh, Mini MSI is an absolute grail. And then the compact Excalibur, the subcaliber. Well, no, it's not a subcaliber because that name's already taken. But the compact Excalibur with the Vertilock. Damn, be shady. What's up, Jake? Ooh, USA carry with the Yo Jimbo, the Lynch Northwest. Probably no, that is not a Lynch. I thought it was and a Mighty Hanks. Wicked cool. Steve L with Best Tech Taipan. This one is on my list. I have heard so many good things. It's a beautiful warning, but I've heard so many great things about that knife. The Kubi Dust Devil, the knife that got me to start carrying an EDC fixie every day. And the Best Tech Tulip, yay, yay, yay. Robin Dahlem with that Vulcan Knives custom. So I had a member of the Kripple Krew ask me just yesterday, if you had $500 to spend on any one knife, what would you buy and where would you go? And I hit him right back with one knife, $500. I'm getting a Vulcan custom folder. Pick your blade shape. For me, it'd be Warney. I love his hawk bills, but you could get whatever blade shape you want in a Vulcan custom for less than $500 to ride at, and that is stupid. I said that's where I would go with $500. The leak has always been, if furnace assisted, yes, it is. And you can get Magna Cut leaks for less than $100. It's made in the US, Magna Cut, and it's less than $100. Oh, 16-inch sith blade. Damn, Gallantry by Condor. Yeah, compared to now, but they have upgraded a bunch of them. Thomas McDonald, what's up? Yeah, the Vulcan stuff is insane. His work is just beautiful. My first TRM entered my collection courtesy of, well, truly it came from Marianne, but it happened because of the human cheat code, BNA, or Brand New American. He sent me his Neutron, his Atom, and his Shadow. And he said, if you review these, if you make content, there's a chance TRM sends you a knife. And I was like, yeah, I doubt it. I'm pretty small. I think I was around 500. I was like, I doubt it. I'm pretty small, but I still wanted, I really wanted to review TRM. I'd never seen or reviewed them, but I'd seen them, especially on G-Ball's channel, and I really wanted to check them out. And I reviewed his, loved them. And TRM reached out to me and asked if they could send me a knife. I never expected it to be a lizard skin 3D tie Neutron 2. But this knife is the one that started TRM being a part of my carry every day. Pretty much every day there's a TRM knife as part of my rotation. Never go wrong with a TRM 100. And since this, our partnership has grown. We've given away several TRMs. Bought another red line yesterday. What's up, Christopher Hinckley? That's one that I haven't checked, the red line. It is bigger than what I like to carry, but I'm sure it's like an outdoor blade. It's a phenomenal blade. Oh, listen to that. This knife really started my love of titanium. Prior to this, I was not a fan of it. Y'all know I used to kind of hate on titanium a bit. After this knife, all of that changed. The next TRM from my collection, they asked me if they could give me the new Bulldog Rev B last year to thank me for all of the support, and sent me. They'd only made 4 sets of the lizard skin 3D tie with this new milling pattern that they were checking out to see how it looked. It is so much finer and more detailed than the old lizard skin 3D tie, which is beautiful. But this is on a whole nother level. And they asked if they could send me one to keep, carbon fiber backspacer to keep and carry long term. And this is my acoustics here. Love that ting. This is my USA Made blade of 2025, the best. This is one of the most ergonomic knives I've ever touched in my life. It just feels like it melds to my hand. Truck knife. That's a great truck knife. And I appreciate you, Ron Dobbins. Make sure you're subbed and stab that like button. Also, folks, if there's anybody kicking it and lingering and watching in the vertical stream, but you want to see everything that's going on, right now you can only see parts of a few knives. We have well over a dozen out on the mat. You want to see the whole stream, there is a pinned comment with a link to the horizontal live stream, folks. Yeah, this is your Grail knife. It's absolutely Grail worthy. Absolutely Grail worthy. When they dropped the original Bulldog, looked very similar, but I wasn't nearly as much of a fan. They discontinued the Shadow, and I checked out B Shady's and fell in love with it. And I chased one of my own for nearly 2 years. And actually, yeah, I chased it for 2 years. No, that's not right, because the channel's not quite 2 years old. So I chased it for over a year, we'll say, before big homie Chris Lopez sold me his. But when I held after handling this knife, when I held the first Bulldog, I wasn't a fan. Thank you, Ron Dobbins, for stabbing the like button on both the vertical and the horizontal. That always helps. Really need to get another Adam. Yeah, because right now the first batch is Magna Cut, I believe. I'm trying to remember. I talked to them at Blade Show West. The first batch of everything for the TRM Adam was all frame lock, was almost done. The Pitbull's getting its full drop first before the Adam frame lock. And I can't remember if it was 20 CV or Magna Cut blades. I love their 20 CV. I am in love with TRM's 20 CV. I'll take it over anybody else's Magna Cut. Now, I like their Magna Cut as well, especially with a Mike Irie hollow grind on it. Turns this thing into a freaking laser. Another Grail that I bought from our homeboy Christopher Lopez. But yeah, the first Bulldog kind of disappointed me, and I stated in her, I got to review it through the pass around, and I stated in the review that I didn't like it as much as the Shadow. So they hit me up and they're like, yo, we want you to do a full test, a full carry, a full review on the Bulldog Rev B. And I got one of the very first sets of the 3D lizard skin tie on it. And this has been my most carried knife, period, for the last 8 months. No. Yeah, 8 months. Jim Miller, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on? What's going on? Good to see you. Aries, my brother, what is up? Working from the shop, listening in. He might not tag everybody because he's busy. I hadn't even started talking about custom USA. Ooh, Lagatha's filthy. Lagatha's filthy. She just opened another box this morning. I really need to clean Lagatha. She's sharp as hell. She just a dirty girl. She a dirty girl. Where's my wicked clean? I'll clean her in a minute. But part of my USA Made knife collection is 2 custom fixed blades. My Aries EDC Lagatha, my true most carried knife. So if this is my most carried folder, it still doesn't get the time with me that Lagatha does. Lagatha goes where I do. She's always on my belt. She is my go-to most used knife. And sometimes she gets road dirty and put away wet, but she'll get cleaned up today. And then I also have a JR Knives fixie that was gifted to me by homeboy Chris Lopez with some awesome resin scales and a 52-100 ball bearing steel blade. Tri-stash, stout, misdemeanor, warranty, trifecta. Ooh! I did. She's dirtier today than normal. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab some wicked clean. Actually, I think I need to let the puppers out real quick. I'll be right back. You gotta go potty, Wiggles? I think it's still raining. Do you want your jacket? Yeah, you want your jacket? Do you want this? You gotta get up. Thank you. Can I have an arm? Which one? Which one first? This one? Thank you. This one? Thank you. Oh, it's so pretty in your coat. Oh, you look so good. You ready? I'll let you guys right back in. I know you don't like it. Hurry up. I'll be right back. Pardon, that was probably really loud in the mic. That was probably a jerk move. And another, currently carrying the Benchmade 575 all week. Yay, yay, yay. Yeah, Vulcan is one I want so badly. Another handmade USA custom knife. This was picked up in Utah, made from local rock and an antler with some sinew. You know, this is just like our earliest knives, man's oldest tool. And I love to keep this on my desk to remind me that while we've come so far, we're still just something sharp on the end of a stick at the end of the day. But I like to have this just to remind me of how far we've come. But that man has always needed a knife. We have always needed a knife. Yes, I got my brother Mud one. This one was bought for me by the Deadly Daughter. But since the earliest times, as soon as we figured out how to make something sharp, we've needed a knife. I'll be right back, letting the puppers back in. Try the puppies, 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 try the puppies. Oh, try the puppies, try the puppies, try the puppies. Oh, try the puppies. Yes. You want a treat? You think you get a treat? Do you think you deserve one? Yeah? Okay. I guess you can have one. One for you, one for you. Oh, are you hungry? I'll get you some more food. Yes, you're a good boy. There you go, Wiggles. Just gotta rinse my hands real quick, folks. I was telling my brother Mud this morning, it is an ugly day out there, but I'd rather wet than frozen, so I'll take it. You can eat, Wiggles. Daddy's going back in the office, pretty girl. All right. Ron Crow, member of Kripple Krew, Inc. What's going on? It's awesome to have, because it truly is. Like, this is the same way that they've made them 1,000 years ago. And I got to find the guy's card. I have it right up here somewhere. But the guy that makes these in Utah, I had his information. But there's where we got them was at the Hole in the Rock house. The shop there. But yeah, it's really dope to have. I'll check out those pictures in a minute, brother. Ron Crow, good to see you, my brother. Oh yeah, you know, this will absolutely shred. And it could be made even sharper if somebody wanted to, but there's no need to. This would puncture, this would chew and tear so easily. I wish I got a treat every time I went to the bathroom. What's up, laners? What's up, bear? Good puppers. There's good puppers. But yes, I mean, same basic principle that we have always had. We always need a knife. And that need hasn't changed in thousands of years. Grab some Wicked Clean real quick. I like to use Wicked Clean on my blades when they are dirty. And let's get some of this on Lagatha. This stuff is good for glue, for food. Made by the same people as Wicked Wax. And you just coat it. We'll leave it on there for a minute. That blade nice and coated. We'll let that set for a minute before we clean it up. Stuff works so well, and it only takes a little bit. Grand Prize Greg Vanderlip. What's going on? Laney's Bear. What's up? Jane got yours on the way to Vegas. Utah was a blast. That's awesome, dude. Utah does have some really cool things in it. And there are some areas that are beautiful. Crazy state to ride in, though. The minivan / SUV moms, the soccer moms, woo! They are deadly on those roads. They do not care about motorcycles. Now we'll buff this off the blade. Already looking much better. Little bit of glue on the tip still. There we go. We got that. Now we'll just shine her up a little bit. And my baby is clean again. I'm ready to go. Wicked Clean works very well. It gets the glue right on the very edge. And I used to use alcohol on all my blades, but I had it discolor some of my, it discolored the DLC on this using alcohol to wipe the blade. And after that, I haven't used alcohol again. I know it'd be fine on satin blades, but Wicked Clean works so well. You know, if I was by the sink, I probably would have hit her with some soap and water first. But Wicked Clean, love it. Takes all that gunk right off. Like to have fluff that night. Yeah, obsidian can be wicked, wicked, wicked. Oh no, kidney stones suck so bad. I've had them multiple times. Yeah, passing them is a blast, isn't it? Clean yours with Zippo fluid. Yeah. Yeah, ever since I discolored that DLC, that's when I stopped using alcohol on the blade. This was a color similar to this. As you can see, I actually did it to both of them on the same day. You can see here back here, the actual color of their DLC, but very discolored after using alcohol. The DLC coating is still just fine. It just discolored it and it doesn't want to go away. So now I use Wicked Clean because I can use it on DLC, PVD, satin, stonewash. And then I usually hit things with some Wicked Wax or Mad Wax to protect them. Do you want a blanket, Wiggles? Or do you want a full tuck? Do you want a full tuck? Okay. With your jacket, you're getting real comfy, aren't you? There you go. Good doggers. Love you guys. We got one tucked all the way in her bed, even with her jacket on. And then we got Saint Boy chilling. That's good dogs. You don't want to look at the camera? No, you guys just don't like the camera. Huh. What pretty girl. Yeah, sure, good girl. A pretty girl. Everybody loves you guys. Everybody loves you guys. Yes. Saint. You know, you gonna ignore the camera? You gonna be a jerk? You really don't want to look. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are, old man. Yes, I love you. I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you with your little booty sticking out. There we go. There we go, babies. There's your daily dose of doggies. We'll get this camera back up. Kind of where it was, ish. Ish. Huh. There, that looks a little better. Nice. See, I also use Wicked Clean and Wicked Wax on my Carta. On the few wood scales that I have, I only have a couple. I use Wicked Clean or Wicked Wax on G10. It works for titanium. Cat scratch. What it do? What it do? Yeah, you know, if it's a satin blade or stone wash, you'll probably never notice it. But I'm assuming it could also do it to PVD coatings just as well. I just stopped using it after it discolored my Spyderco DLC. Yeah, I used the Wicked Clean instead of alcohol has worked very well for me. I'm not I'm not affiliated or anything. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But this little one here, I got this and a small thing of Wicked Wax sent to me with a knife one time. And the little tin lasts a long time because you only need a little bit for a blade. Yeah, as long as there's not another stone, you're going to get so much relief all the way from the back to the front. I got to look at Instagram. The first time I passed stones, I had multiple stones. I had 3, and I couldn't take time off work. I was a car salesman. You don't make money if you ain't working. And so I passed them and they put me on Keflex, an antibiotic that turned my urine bright orange, and it permanently stained both the work toilets and my home toilet bowl orange. Never could get rid of it. Even when we moved out of that house, it was still orange from the Keflex. But yeah, passing those at work was not fun. Here's what's on Kelly right now. Our sis Kelly putting in that work. She stays busy. You know what? Inside that, she's staying busy. Love it, making a monkey fist right there. Yeah. Buzz Beast showing off some raw tie. Ooh. We've got the AD20. Whoop, I'm just sliding shit now. AD20 over here. The Kaiser Sheepdog. We got the Hinderer. Katsu. We have the Geo Knives Noxes by Fabster Run. The Nano Shark. And the 808D. Beautiful setup, brother. Beautiful setup. Our brother Jim Miller always has the great shots. We got the Viper Raid pouch. The prize pulled out today. Beautiful Asher knife. We got the titanium penguin. The the crispy donut community fixie and the Olay Baton Bow. Kripple Krew always has the best friggin' pockets. One Moon, free shipping for a limited time. What's up? What's up? Glad you were able to pop in. I hope you're doing okay there, man. It works just like the wax. You wipe it on, leave it for 30 to 60 seconds, buff it off. The difference is this cuts through gunk better than the wax. Wicked Clean is a beeswax based cleaner and polish. It can be used with a clean rag or steel wool to remove etching and medium to light debris. The mild abrasive will not scratch most surfaces. Works with Damascus and other hardened steels. I had to read what it said, and it's not very easy because it's very small. But I use this, and then I wipe it off, and then I typically put a layer of Wicked Wax on the top. Or Mad Wax, I also have, and I use it, and it works for me just as well. But it's less money. But yeah, there's a mild abrasive in the Wicked Clean that just cuts through gunk so easily. It'll get dried food off a blade, stuff like that. Not an affiliate. I probably should get an affiliation with them, but so I'm not trying to make anything, just recommending the product that I personally use. Let's take a look at another one of my USA Made blades. And polish my fingerprints off of this one. This was my #1 production Grail, period, until I made a trade with my brother War Room last year and got this beautiful Cutlery Shop exclusive Spydercos PM2 Warney NCTS XHP. He had the MXG deep carry clip and titanium barrel spacer, barrel spacer for the lanyard tube. And I added the Flytanium aluminum loop scales, and it really made it feel good and sound great. Listen to that. The whack. That's a PM2. Roger Baker, what it do, my brother? Good to see you. Work is crazy today. Can't stay in this, but wanted to come over and stab that like button. I appreciate you for that, brother. That definitely helps. It's always good to see you, and I hope you have a killer rest of your day at work. Folks, if you haven't stabbed that like button, it really does help to let other folks know that we are live and to help push this out. And also, if there's anybody lingering in the vertical live stream where you can only see a few knives, there's a pinned comment with the horizontal link where there's over a dozen knives and most of the Kripple Krew. Have a killer day, my brother. Always good to talk to you. I will see you soon. Love you, brother. All that thwack. I don't know if you guys noticed the ticker on the bottom, but we have updated the counter. We have gone 2 live streams without color. We're going to keep that ticker, I think, as a part of the lives. One of my favorite fifth pocket knives of all time is the TRM Holy Your Nerd. This was a gift from Marianne at Blade Show West. Marianne, Les, Cindy, the entire team, Kathy, really are some of the coolest and awesome and like nicest people you will ever meet. So down to earth. I can't wait. And they want me at Blade Show, Texas, but I just can't make it. But I'm going to be there, Blade Show, Atlanta. Faux shiz. The first knife that really got me hooked on little big knives, and I don't consider the Holier Nerd to be a little big knife. It's just a fifth pocket knife. I can get a full 4-finger grip, but just barely. This one really, for me, is batted on the utility grip. This is where this knife lives when I'm using it. And it's hand melting right here. But a little big knife for me. Hey, I hear that, Jim Miller. Have a killer rest of your day. Make that money. Get them blades. I can't remember if you have a DBD edition off the top of my head or not. But you know, you got to make that money so you can get them DVD editions before they're gone. Gotta say it. But the first knife that hooked me on the little big knife actually really locked it in for me that this is the size that I do enjoy. The first one was actually Kaiser Mini Sheepdog. This is the first knife that I learned to Spidey flick on. Whoop. And ever since this knife, I've been able to Spidey flick. And this one, I really loved how I could get a full 4-finger grip, but I had a smaller blade for when my hands are acting up. But this little native solidified the fact that I like to have a little big knife with me most times. Because when my hands are acting up, I can get a full grip. And I have a small enough blade to control. Really, really love it. Yeah, Little Native got me hooked on carrying a little big knife. And then the little big knife that I'm looking forward to the most is the Numb Knives N5 when it comes out this summer. Absolutely get that little big knife feeling. You know, behind the pivot, I can just barely get on it, all 4 fingers, but I am on it and I am locked. But with this choil and the jimping going out, and after I talked to him, he extended the jimping even more. Like, it locks in. Plus, you have the pinch lock. Whoop. That was me. You have the pinch lock, reverse flick. Ooh, that almost, there we go. Front flipper is easy, but I'm getting him to raise this a little bit, and I'm recommending he bring this flipper tab up a little bit so you can generate more force before it goes out. But this is going to be one wicked knife. Checking out this prototype before the final versions go in has been awesome. Wicked Riot hollow grind. This is the next fifth pocket knife that I want. Yeah, he really should do a numbskull. Oh, feels so good. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I really like what Numb Knife Works is doing. The pinch lock giving you 2 liners and 2 balls. 2 detent balls makes the release when it breaks the detent just feels so good. It's a release you can't really understand until you feel one of their knives with the double detents. And not a double detent knife, but 2 detent balls. And it is something else. That's definitely on my radar. Couple USA knives that are here via the pass around that I actually just dropped a review on these. The Giant Mouse Ace Elmer by ProTech. Nice knife. I don't think it's a $365 knife at all, but wicked cool, very limited edition, only 150 blue and 150 black. This is not mine. The Launch 23, which if you saw yesterday's review, yes, that should be the Numb Nuts. I don't get this one. They just recently had the Launch 19. Like last year was the Launch 19. Same size. Same slight ramp, clip point blade. Same two-tone finish. Same overall length. Same blade stock thickness. Same weight. The difference is this one's all aluminum. That one had aluminum and G10 over it, so you had a two-tone, and it was actually a little bit more ergonomic back here. This one is a little less ergonomic. It doesn't have the finger choil, and it's all T6 hardware besides the pivot. I don't get the Launch 23. Especially if you have a Launch 19, there is zero reason to look at a Launch 23. I do like some of the launches. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a launch hater. I think this model makes no sense to me. The Launch 19 is the same size, same look, but better ergos. And a finger choil. Like, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of the 23. Roger Baker, have a killer rest of your day, my man. But I really like this Launch 22. Listen to this. This actually thwacks harder than the ProTech. This kicks harder than that ProTech Ace Elmer. This is a good size at just over 8 inches. I like the two-tone with the micarta in the aluminum. And, you know, one of the original reasons for automatic knives was for tactical use and situations where you need to deploy blade fast with one hand. A bayonet style grind is a great blade shape for tactical use while still lending itself to EDC tasks, but it carries so much strength for puncturing to that tip. I am a fan of this one. And you can get this for less than $170 on Lone Star Knife if you use code DBD. Yes. Yeah. It seems like they've doubled up on a couple, but like, the Launch 21, I think, was a remake of another recent one, but it was a different blade shape. They used a successful handle, but put a different blade shape on it. And that one had M4 steel. Like, I think it was the M16 and the Launch 16 and the Launch 21, maybe. But like I said, it was a different blade shape, so it made sense. The 19 and 23 have the same blade shape, same two-tone finish, and like the same measurements. Just less of a finger trail on this one. You don't get the two-tone. It's not as ergonomic back here, and it's all T6 hardware. I don't know if the 19 was all T6 besides the pivot, but I know this one is. And I just think that if you're going to go with this size and shape, I like the 19 better. But this new launch 22, this one is one that I would actually recommend. Man, I'm talking some of the craziest lockup I've ever felt on an automatic knife. Better than the ProTech. Watch this. Like, hit the wax. And of course, even though I recommend always closing it with two hands, you know, the safe and smart way, it's still easy enough to close with one hand. This one I'm a fan of, and I'm glad I got to check it out. When we have a naughty nap, it goes in the corner. That's the buck 110. So this buck 110, I had gone over 20 years without a buck knife in my collection. As a kid, I had a bunch. You know, growing up, all we had was for folders was slip joints and backlocks. Like, the liner lock hadn't even been invented yet. And so we were rocking with bucks and Swiss Army knives. But as when I went into the military, my original knife collection, along with like my coins and everything, that was, I'll be honest, all my crap was sold off by my mom for drug money while I was in the service. So my original knife collection disappeared. And when I started buying knives in the service, I was all about tactical, like Blackout. And by then we were getting frame locks at a decent price that were like, not the greatest quality, of course, compared to today's knives, but they were all black, all tactical, and that's all I liked. And then when I started getting back into knife collecting, I was about it for the first, and even for like the first 6 months of the channel. I was about it on almost all finger safe locks. Illuminati F and Ninja, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's going on, my brother? And like button locks, I was getting big into. I was digging on crossbar locks, compression locks. I was just getting into, but I was really going away from anything non-finger safe. I started getting back into liner locks and loving them again after this and after the Clydesdale and a couple of others. But I didn't really start realizing how much I missed having a buck in my collection until last year. And I was saying that I was going to get one. And homeboy, our brother, Fook Doozle, prayers for Folk. Hope he's doing well right now. So I know he's doing well. I just know that I hope, everything's smooth. That's all I'm gonna, but he sent me this buck 110. And yeah, I'd forgotten how good it feels in hand. It's a classic for a reason. And that profile still feels so good in hand. Whether you're choked up to use that edge, or you're way back here for some reach, it just feels great. Heavier, yeah, but so sharp. so pokey and a classic for a reason. I was really stoked to get this back into my collection and appreciate Brother Fook for that. And this will always be part of my collection now. But that's my buck. I had gone over 20 years since my last buck. And have a 110 back in the collection, which, now it feels like there always should have been one in the collection. Yes, it is history everywhere. Everywhere. It's known the world over. And it'll always be a classic for a reason. Do I still prefer all my modern stuff? Yeah, but I mean, like, you can't go wrong. And you can depend on this knife. So that one is courtesy of the Fookster. There's another one that hit the collection last year. The Kershaw Bel Air. This version with the shred carbon fiber is the one that I really wanted to get. I hadn't checked out a Bel Air yet, and I wanted to compare it against my Deca. I've had bug out. I've built it all the way up, made it really nice, and it still wasn't for me. It still didn't fit my hand right. I wasn't comfortable, so I traded it and got another knife. But I wanted to compare the Bel Air to my Deca, and I got lucky. I bought Mad Yako's Super High Unknown Volume 1 first edition loot box with 2 Hanks in it. And I got loot box number 1. And if you know about his loot boxes, not only do you get a Hank, but there's always a chance for a knife as well. And this was the top knife from the first run. And I got my Kershaw Bel Air, courtesy of Mad Yako, who put this pink lanyard on that is staying on this knife. I don't know. This lanyard could end up moving to one that the desert. No, it'll stay with this knife forever. I was going to move it to another knife that I like, but it's going to stay on this knife forever because it came on it. But Mad Yako was trying different stuff like flaming hardware with this knife. And I just like it because this is part of his channel history. And now it'll always be part of my collection. And I learned that I am definitely more of a Bel Air fan than a bug out. I still slightly prefer the Deca, but I don't think you can go wrong with the Bel Air, and I think it is pushing insane value. 2 Bel Airs and love them. Got a Tops fixed blade and 2 Hanks in your box. Damn, that's another good box to get. The Mad Yako loot boxes are awesome. Welcome back, my brother. Yeah, I love the Mad Yako loot boxes. I have 2 of them. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm so happy my brother's doing well again. And I'm very excited to get to be the first person besides him to handle and review his Redeemer. It's coming to me. It's on its way, shipped today. So we will be checking out the Mad Yako Redeemer before anybody else. It's going to go to, I think, 6 channels, but mine first. Shout out to my boy, Mad Yako. Yes, and besides this Bel Air, we have reviewed the clip point in micarta, which I thought was a nice addition to the Bel Air lineup. I personally prefer the Sheepcliff blade, or Warnfoot, whatever you want to call it, blade, to the clip point. But we actually have two more here today. Two Bel Airs that are new for 2026. And that is the new Bel Air Clip Point G10 with the DLC blade. The micarta one had a satin finish. So this is blacked out with the DLC Magna Cut blade. Here it is compared to the sheep's foot. But then we also have Gons. What's up, homie? You are in the vertical stream right now. You're working and lurking, so Gons can't tag everybody. So it probably doesn't matter to him that he's in the vertical stream. But if you felt like popping in the horizontal stream, brother, the link is pinned. But besides, let's move a couple things for the moment to put the Bel Airs in the middle. We got a lot of USA blades out right now. Let's put some of this titanium in the pocket so I don't. And by the way, my ABW slip joint is carried in a slip made by Dogwood Creek Leather, aka Rowdy, that was stamped by him and lasered by Bluminati Ninja. I love this. This rides in my fifth pocket right next to an Ultim pin. And this is now with me every day. Oh, did I yell when Gons came on? Chicken fried steak, what it do, what it do. Good to see you checking in from Central Cali. What's up? But besides the new Bel Air clip point, you know, I got so much stuff. I'm trying to make room with everything that I already have out on the desk. Let's do the Bel Airs real quick. My Bel Air, the new DLC clip point, and then we have the new for 2026. Everybody asked for it. Kershaw did it. We have the Bel Air XL. And I think this is a phenomenal size. Gabe, what is up, my man? I see Gons pop to the horizontal. Yay, yay, yay. Good to see you, Gabe. But yeah, the Bel Air XL. Here it is next to the other two Bel Air. Back them up there. As you can see, it's a size difference, not just in blade length and handle length, but it's also slightly taller. See? And ever so slightly wider thickness. So, for larger hands, it is enough to make a difference. See, I fit just fine on the regular Bel Air, but if your hands were a little bigger than mine, then the Bel Air XL would be the way to go. And I think they should have gone slightly bigger with it, in my opinion. But let's compare it next to a PM2. I just had the PM2, two PM2s out, actually. Here's one. Let's see. There it is next to the PM2. We're going to move this to the top. We're going to move one Bel Air, and then we'll put out the Para 3. So we are very, very, very similar to Para 3 length on the Bel Air. I think they should have taken the XL a little further and gone all the way to PM2 size with it. I think it would have made more sense. Put Gersh on the cat at gas station knives. I get you. Neil Mack, have a great rest of your day, homie. So I said it in one of my Kershaw reviews last year. But I had written Kershaw off. I used to have Kershaws, but I had written Kershaw off as cheap crap, the way that they had gone with materials, with quality. And then they completely changed the game by turning around everything they did in 2020, the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. Their Duralock, the Iridium is a fantastic knife. There are several other Duralocks that are Chinese made that are still good knives, and now with decent materials, but their USA made shit has been on fire. From the Bel Air to the whole launch series to the live wires, and ZT is picking back up as well. But a lot of the ZTs have just should have been skinned, I think, as Kershaw, because some of the first ZTs felt way more Kershaw than ZT. But the new Kershaw Iridium G10 button lock is killer. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Iridium, the launch Iridium is probably one of the best of the launch series for EDC. The launch Iridium is phenomenal. I got to review it. But Kershaw really changed the game the last couple of years. And I believe they're absolutely worth not only looking at, but they're providing some of the better value in American-made knives right now on the Kershaw line. The Bel Air is phenomenal. You know, I would still say, yeah, I know this is going for the thinness, but I would say that versus a Bel Air, you're better served saving another $40 and getting a Bulldog Rev B. Because with G10, these start at only like $209 after my code. And very similar in size, but way more comfortable. And as much as Kershaw has improved, they are not TRM, and they're not working with the small batch quality that TRM is. So I still would recommend, instead of buying one of these, you know, saving up an extra $50, paying a little bit more, and getting a Bulldog Rev B. But their new USA made knives have been way better than the last few years. And most of their Chinese line is pretty good. You know, they have a couple of things that are cheaper that are like Walmart products. But for the most part, their Duralock series and their newer button locks have been really good. Oh, I can understand having an experience like that and hating them, but they really, I believe their heat treatments are way better. Their materials are better than even just 5 years ago, 4 years ago. The last couple of years has seen a big turnaround for Kershaw to where I had written them off. And now I enjoy. Yeah, the button lock Iridium's a badass knife. I don't own one, but I have reviewed one. I get you, Gabe. I understand. But with my experience, they've impressed me lately. I'll still always say the best knives you can get for the money are TRM, but that's just me. Oh, I love these. I love knives, folks. I love knives. I love playing with knives and hanging out with y'all. It's just good times. I'm going to see if there's any more Insta carries to share. We got some pictures from One Moon. Oh, you know, we got to look at this. First, we'll start with the blade he's handling at the moment. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, yep, looks like we had a tree branch fall onto the fence. Got to break that up. But here's the better picture. Yeah, let's look at the pretty puppers. You know we love puppers. We will always share pupper pictures. Grab the Bel Air exclusive at $99. Yeah, that's a stupid price for it too. These go on sale. The Bel Airs go on sale for crazy prices. Do I personally wish that Kershaw used tighter springs? I do. They work perfect every time. I've never had it fail to open. The detent feels snappy, and it closes perfectly every time. You can do it with one finger. But you know, you guys know me. I like a thick spring. I like a thick spring in my knives. But their Duralock is probably the easiest crossbar lock to use. That still fires perfectly every time. Anybody, even when my fingers are spazzing, this is an easy crossbar to pull back. And it's like that on all of their crossbars that I have felt, including ZT. But if you like the clip point, this DLC blade looks really good on it. I like this DLC blade quite a bit. This blade with the micarta, oh, would look so good. Yeah, work your belt out the same way. Yeah, it's just like so fidgety. You don't even have to move your thumb ever. Okay, my phone's about to die, folks. We're going to shut this down. Much love to the Kripple Krew. You know I'm always here if y'all need to talk. I always appreciate you spending your day with me. Love you guys. Until next time, stay safe, stay frosty. Most importantly, Kripple Krew, stay friggin' deadly. And I love my Kripple Krew.